All right. Week 14, Dirty 30 podcast. Me and Dev holding down the fort. Christian's out, so we brought in the main man, the main reliever, our 12th man of the year, our savior, Kyle Rademacher. What's up, buddy?
Oh, just living the good life. Figured I'd rep my boy Drew this week. Got to catch lightning in a bottle. So I figured, it was a good guy to bring.
Drew Brees. I'm loving it. Loving it. We got a couple things on the pod. Same pizza bets, trash talk to kind of round things out, but we're gonna kind of break down the schedule, standings, just a couple things that stand out to us. And then I came up with a way too early 2023 keeper list that we'll go over and spend a bunch of time with, I'm sure. So it was fun to create, and yeah, hopefully people are into it. So does that sound good to you guys?
Let's roll.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. Um, Looking over the standing, it looks like kind of the top five picks are kind of in, right? The order is kind of different, right? With myself playing Tyler, with Derek playing Marcus, Rhodey. I'm pretty sure you're locked into the five, right?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
For the
Yes.
most part, right? Maybe you can jump up, but pretty much locked
Score a
into
lot of
five.
points.
Guys score some points. Yep. And then it's a battle. It's a battle. It's Christian and Craig kind of for that last spot. Eric has some chance, like a 20% chance, but some shit has to happen. But
Eric has a 1% playoff chance.
never mind, 1% chance. that
But it's still something. So
that clearly updated since I last looked at it.
yeah, I
Wow,
was just looking at it now.
1% chance.
You can do it, buddy. We believe in you.
What are you guys thinking going into this week? What's something that stood out to you?
I like how the schedule that the algorithm actually made like enticing matchups this last week. And pretty crazy how that all worked out. I know in the past I've always been like, we should be able to choose who we should be able to play, 2 times a year or whatever. But
Sure.
for this year still being random, some pretty fun matchups for the last week.
Yeah, man, a lot of shit to pan out yet. A lot of stuff to both bye weeks are up for grabs. Who's playing who. That sixth spot is up for grabs. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this last week. Debbie,
Yeah.
anything stand
Yeah.
out for you?
No, I mean, you pretty much nailed it. I mean, the top five teams are all at 100%. And it's just, it's sad that the season's, gone by so quick, but you love that playoffs are here. And then, it doesn't get much better than that last spot just being up for grabs and just how it rounded out. So,
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It
There's no
always
real
goes.
strategy can be played this year either. Like in the past, we thought about someone tanking to get a different matchup or something, but you can't even play that this year because you have no idea.
You got no idea.
what a
Yeah.
year it's been, man.
Yeah, and it does. It goes by so fast, doesn't it? It's like prep, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, football season's over, and not what I do for a little while, but
Baseball.
couple weeks to enjoy left. That's for sure. Yeah, some crazy stuff happening here.
It's gonna be fun.
Gonna be fun, man. I'm gonna share my screen, kind of jump into our next subject. Let's see. I'm savvy enough to do that. There we go. You guys seeing that?
Yep.
You guys are kind of in the way though, right? There we go. So I went for it. I had a little free time at work today, yesterday, and just had to win for it. I'm projecting the way too early 2023 keeper list. I got their first keeper, their second keeper, and even an honorable mention. Um, what I'm doing with these numbers right next to the individual is this is their keeper round. So Tony Pollard is kept in the eighth. And I think in a normal draft next year, I think he goes in the second, right? He's a free agent. So maybe bad example, but that's what I'm thinking, right? Javante, he's a fifth round keeper. I think normal draft next year, I think he'd go in the third. So maybe I'll just break down everyone's team and maybe we can just kind of highlight some points after that. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Go for that. All
Yeah.
right. Kyle, I have you keeping Tony Pollard next year in the eighth. I then also have you keeping Jameson in the 14th. with a honorable mention of Tyler Lockett in the 11th, because Tyler Lockett in the 11th is always a steal.
That is insane.
Always a steal, man.
It always happens.
Well, him and DK just got poo-pooed on this year.
Yeah.
I think that's in every draft though, right? Like nobody outside of the Seahawks organization trusted Geno Smith.
Every draft, man. And you
They
got
just fell and fell.
you got some other options that might come about, you know. You got a couple free agent backs that I thought about. But yeah, those are kind of the three that I highlighted for you. Devi, Javante in the 5th. Always solid to have him again. The people that are highlighted will have to go back the following year, by the way. This would be Javante's second keep. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 7th. I think he's probably a 3rd round pick. I don't know. I mean, he just keeps doing it, man. You know, he just keeps doing it. And then Hawkinson, I thought, was maybe your 3rd. Maybe, I don't know, probably not thought of as a high keeper, but he'll be a decent tight end that probably goes in the
Look
7th.
at Goddard this year, you know.
Right. Yeah,
He was down there too, so
for sure, man.
Question for you, Dev. I know you love Javante, but after watching the Broncos offense this year, do you really want him next year?
absolutely. Trust the talent, my friend. Dude's an
Like that
animal.
about Russ.
Yeah.
Russ is stupid.
I'm guessing that coach has to go. So
Yes.
that's hopefully
Phase 1.
there's no way he lasts the off season, but whatever. We'll keep going. I got Tyler. He had some interesting ones, but you know, a team that kind of sold out for this year, right? I have him going back to the well with DeAndre in the 3rd. I have him probably as a 3rd round pick again, so not much keeper value, but you know, he's a solid running back who hopefully it was just health. Patrick Mahomes in the 6th, always interesting. You know, this league has never kept quarterbacks, never has, but Patrick Mahomes in the 6th is a steal.
I like that you threw some in here.
I got a couple, man. I do. I got
that.
three, I think. So and the T Higgins, you know, in the 7th that's who he kept last year. That's always a possibility for him as well. Tanner, he did the opposite. He went for next year. He's got Olave in the 10th, Cooper Kupp in the 3rd, Amari Cooper in the 10th, and I could have kept going. He's got Pacheco late. He's got James Cook late. I'm probably missing someone. You know, he is hoping to trade going into next year. That's for sure. I
think Tyler has a lot going on for the draft order selection, because I don't think his keepers are the greatest. And if he does get a good pick where he can be at the end again for CMC, maybe, I think he might do that.
Yeah. Well, it seems he has to go back next year.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, it seems he has to go back. But yeah,
Well, then I think Tyler's keeper options are slim. He's gonna be trading this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, the people who kind of traded the farm for this year, like Christian's coming up as well. You know, he'll probably be looking. Christian, Mark Andrews in the 5th, AJ Brown. I picked, you know, just as a stud. You know, even if he goes in the 2nd round as a 2nd round keeper, he's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Tua as honorable mention, just because he's probably a top 7 or so quarterback going into next year, right?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah. Myself, Waddle in the 9th, Ramondre in the 5th, Garrett Wilson in the 12th. I all kind of had as my honorable mentions. Craig, no shortage of keepers here. Kenneth Walker in the 6th, ETN in the 14th, Jalen Hurts in the 7th. Someone else I'm missing maybe, but yeah, he's definitely a guy playing for next year. Eric, I thought, was the most interesting one. Gave up the farm for Jamar. 2nd keeper is still kind of weak, right? Jamar Chase in the 7th. I put Goddard in the 12th as his 2nd keeper. Maybe it's Burks in the 9th. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Me too. I like Treylon Burks. I think he's a beast. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eric makes a trade too. I think he goes for someone else.
Probably. He's probably going someone else. Right. Probably not on his roster. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, I got Debo, one more year, probably going back next year. Nick Chubb in the second, he's probably a top 5 pick going into next year. Then Damian Pierce, kind of as his honorable mention. I thought about J.K. Dobbins in the 12th as his honorable mention again, which, injury ridden year. He might go back to that well, maybe not. Maybe not. And then the last one here was Marcus. Did some trading and still has some decent keeper options, in my opinion. Hopkins in the 8th, I think is solid. I think he goes in the 3rd at the latest next year. Josh Jacobs, free agent, but I mean, I don't know how the Raiders don't sign him again. I don't know. Hard to say. Josh Jacobs, Houston Texan sounds a little different than Josh Jacobs, Raider, but I mean, either way, I think he's 2nd round pick. I don't know, back into the 1st round pick. I don't know. And then Watson, as the 11th round keeper, I think he's probably going somewhere in like the 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 6th, wherever. Yeah, kind of depends on how he rounds out the year here.
Yeah. And if Rodgers is the quarterback.
Yes. What you guys think here? I sent this to you a couple days ago, kind of let you guys ponder it for a little bit. You guys got a couple of things maybe that stood out to you, Kyle?
Debbie,
go ahead, buddy.
Oh, sorry, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead, buddy.
No, I mean it's a really good list. I like the honorable mentions. It just really shows how many solid keepers are out there. Just looking at your team, I guess Waddle and then Ram and Wilson. It's just younger guys, but really good keepers, and even with Roddy, Pollard and then Jameson and then Lockett to steal in the 11th. There's just so many good keepers and different moves. It's going to be an interesting offseason for sure.
Yeah, I thought it provided like some trade opportunity, right? The honorable mentions where, you kind of look it over and say, oh, this guy's flush with keepers, I might poke around and kind of see what happens. So yeah,
some of those could easily be the number 2 keeper
for sure.
So
for sure, man. Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it's kind of interesting how me and Marcus are the only 2 that aren't going to keep anybody that's already been kept.
Yeah.
That I don't know how often we'll see that going forward for not many people. I mean, you can even sell the house and you're still probably gonna have someone to keep that's left over. And then also too, the lack of like double-digit round keepers. I think a lot of people at the end of the draft sometimes just are sick of it being there for so long, just want to get the hell out of there, auto pick me and get out. But there's definitely a lot of talent at the end of our draft that could be really valuable going forward for years down the line. And just drafting a rookie, who was a 3rd round pick in the NFL draft, you never know. And it could just be a really good payoff for you. So I wonder if that'll change going forward.
Yeah. Shoot your shot at the end. That's for sure.
Well, that was last year. What was Ram if I would have kept him last year? That was like a 12th.
Late. Yeah. 12th. Late.
Big mistake.
Late, man. Yeah. I'm kind of with you, Kyle. I think I'm learning if you're like shooting your shot, like might as well shoot your shot kind of late, right? We kind of had this conversation a little bit where like Waddle late obviously panned out, right? Michael Thomas late didn't pan out, but it was a 10th round pick, throwing him back didn't really hurt too much. It sucked, right? But it wasn't the end of the world just because it was so late where you're keeping your 3rd round pick and he has an off year, that makes it tough, man. The roster is hard to manage with that. So yeah, that's kind of what I learned.
Yeah.
And even too, I guess the way our like waiver wire rules are, where even if they get drafted and they're thrown back and you pick them off the waiver, you get them where they're drafted. So it really doesn't even hurt. Even if you like the player and he sucks the first, 3-4 weeks, even maybe, the whole half of the year, you can still pick him up and get that same value when you drafted him for.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'll be look through and scavenge through kind of towards the end of the year. I'm sure some people will get picked back up that probably shouldn't be picked back up, but that's part of it,
Yep.
Any final thoughts? Otherwise, I can kind of get off this and we can kind of look back at each other. Doing good.
Good.
Cool. And I'll send this out to the group chat too, just so they can kind of take a look at it themselves. Trash talk of the week. I got one submission over this one, and Devi, I'm sorry, but you're the guy that it's for.
Perfect. Bring it on.
Trash Talk says, Devin, who would have guessed that you'd need your second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh, or 11th round pick to make playoffs?
That's fair. I need like one more week. I made a run there, so I need like one more week. But that's completely fair.
I thought that was a good one. Yeah.
I think I learned my lesson this year. Brutal.
A couple early picks for you there, buddy. Yeah, that was The
injuries didn't help, but I'm not
injuries
I'm not here to
help.
make excuses. Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
I still didn't finish last. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
So I'll take
that'd
It's
be
a little
something.
bit.
That'd be something if you had to make that graphic and then go put it on your own car, huh?
I got them upstairs, so it's super. At least I don't have to mail them out or anything.
Perfect, buddy. No. Round things out, a couple pizza bets. We got a double or nothing. We got Christian and Tyler going for it again. Justin Jefferson and Swift versus AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. Double or nothing, adding some pizza bread, some lava cakes. I don't remember what they agreed upon exactly, but and Tyler came back at it again. He says, "Hey, I don't only want one pizza, I want two." And he challenged me head-to-head pizza bet. So we'll see. I just can't lay off the stuff, man. Pizza's good. 1 and 2. Hoping to be 2 and 2 for pizza bets. So 500. I'll take 500.
Me and Dev got a crumble cookie bet this week too.
That's right.
I
That's right.
forgot. I forgot.
The crumble cookies.
So good.
I didn't
Yeah.
look at what the lineup was this week.
They are good.
There
man.
better be some good ones.
Mhm.
Or
yeah.
next week. It changes on Sundays.
Okay.
It'll be next week anyway.
I was gonna say too. I actually fly back to the cities on Friday, so maybe Sunday. I don't know if you boys were doing anything. I don't know if Christian threw that date out or whatever, but maybe we can meet up on Sunday or something, watch some football.
Always, buddy. I will keep that in mind. I think I'll be back in town and ready to watch some football myself. So I'll keep that date in mind.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, or we can kind of sign off here? Sounds good. Good luck to everyone. Playoffs, not playoffs. Final week, we'll kind of get after it, and we'll keep the pod running through the playoffs. So we'll be back here every week. So yeah, good luck with everyone.
Yep.
Sweet.
Good luck.
All right. Later.